Today's Tuesday, the 12th of April, 2022. We say good morning to you and welcome to Up and Go. We're here on the bridge all together, and we'll be with you until 10 o'clock this morning. My name is Richie B.
Blessings, Bridge Nation. You know, this is your boy Shellz.
Peace and love, the bridge. The DJ is here.
All right. All right.
Oh, right. I was waiting for the female voice.
No. Are you okay, sir?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
All right. Just
Yeah,
check.
man, I'm good.
Just check. Just check. I'm trying to figure out exactly what we need to do. Wake up!
wake up,
Yeah.
man. Get on up.
Jodie's voice is missing, obviously, and
Yeah.
she's not in the studio. We suspect that she might be a little bit under the weather.
Yeah.
And maybe that is why we're seeing LaFane. Morning,
Hi,
LaFane.
LaFane.
Hi. And she's getting us organized even as we speak. Richard Rainford has been here early. I called him when I was 5 minutes away. And I said, hey, don't panic. I'm nearby. When I stepped into the studio, he said, I wasn't panicking. You know who was panicking? DJ Audley was panicking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man.
He didn't see anybody apart from Richie. So we kind of gave him some instructions as to what he ought to do. Should that happen?
Yeah, man.
I think I was flying solo this morning. Like, wait. Yeah, man.
Yeah, but we're having fun. We're starting the show like this while there is some really, really terrible news coming out of Ukraine. As this morning, the CNN is reporting that they're trying to verify reports of possible chemical attack in Mariupol in Ukraine. Now, this, obviously, ladies and gentlemen, Bridge Nation, would change the nature of the conflict going on over there. As a matter of fact, we see where the UK minister is now coming out and saying that all options would be on the table. Do we see this as an escalation?
Of course.
If there's a chemical attack, I think it would really, really be a different kettle of fish altogether.
It's a game changer.
Yeah, so this is something that we will be, no doubt, monitoring and sharing as much as we have with you throughout the program. WTF.
What the fact?
And we can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, a meteor exploded over Earth with a force of 10 atomic bombs, and everyone on Earth missed it. You'd think of a special body met a phenomenally fiery fate right above our heads that we'd have noticed. But when a meteor hit our atmosphere on December 18, 2018, and exploded with a force that was 10 times the energy of the Hiroshima atomic bomb, it wasn't discovered by NASA scientists until after the fact. It turns out it went largely undetected because it took place over the Bering Sea in an area that was close but not directly on the path of commercial planes flying between North America and Asia. So it went pretty much unrecognized until after the fact.
That's not why it went unrecognized. I'm saying because it's over the Bering Sea. That's not why. You know, say Christmas shopping time. What the the time, fair? Fair, look up.
December 18.
Yeah, then come on.
A week before Christmas.
Yeah, come on, man.
Oh.
We're busy. Nah, look up. We're
The
busy.
world could be coming to an end and nobody would care.
Really, you just said a while ago, 10 times
Yeah. It's the force of 10 atomic
the
bombs.
force,
Yeah.
right? Let me tell you how, listen, that is a powerful bullet.
Yup.
That packs.
But we were busy.
So you're saying,
Nobody picked it up.
We just out of shop.
Not even NASA.
We here in Jamaica, we were. I mean, you'd have expected NASA at least.
Yeah, NASA's job, you know, to look up.
But, I mean, we would have been expecting to get the information from NASA. NASA missed it.
Listen,
Look
that's
at
a
that.
big
I'm not
explosion.
blaming the Jamaicans. I'm blaming NASA. 28 and a half minutes after the hour of 6 o'clock. That was What the Fact? WTF. Time for update. Yeah. Got a couple of stories to share with you.
Yeah.
And Shellz has got one. I think, as it has turned out, I have two. And I'll start with this one in relation to Reggae King. It was in 2020, I think it was, when Reggae King was shot and injured in an attack in, I think, in Westmoreland, if my memory serves me correct. It was a gun attack, and he unfortunately lost his girlfriend in that attack as well. Well, he put out what is called a motivational message just recently. He was seen in Los Angeles on what is described as an expansive lawn. And with a nice picturesque background, he was sitting wearing a baby blue outfit and sitting around a baby blue piano. And here's what Ragging King wanted to share. With his followers. He says, "This morning, we just want to remind everybody out there to just believe in themselves." You hear what me say? Mm-hmm. No matter what you work on, if you see the vision, just execute. You see me? Because only you can see it before somebody else sees it and can make it a reality so them can love you same way. So believe in yourself. Big up. Yeah, so he was actually shot and injured in June 2020, almost getting close now to the anniversary of that. I remember when I saw the images and wow, he was writhing in pain.
Yeah.
And we're thankful that his life was spared. And unfortunately, his girlfriend was killed in that incident. All the best to you, Ragging King.
Now, following what Ragging said in terms of following your dreams and focusing on the vision, DJ Khaled is certainly somebody who can embody that. And DJ Khaled was flanked by Jay-Z, P. Diddy at Hollywood Walk of Fame star ceremony. So DJ Khaled finally has his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Now, DJ Khaled brought out the stars at his Hollywood Walk of Fame star ceremony on Monday. The producer and cultural icon was inducted into the Hollywood Walk of Fame with his friends and family attending the ceremony. The induction ceremony was live streamed on YouTube with Jay-Z, Diddy, Fat Joe, and others in attendance. Khaled expressed his gratitude for the honor in his speech at the ceremony in Los Angeles, while being flanked by his wife, kids, and of course his friends Jay-Z, Fat Joe, and Diddy. He said this: "I want to make one thing super clear. This star I want it to represent the light that shines on everybody." He said, "God put me on this earth to be a light. I want everybody to take this starlight and know that it's forever. It's for all of us. It's for hip hop. We are just getting started. This is just the beginning," he said. Did I do that well?
Thank you, Khaled.
Thank you.
Thank you, Khaled.
Another one. So in a video showing the big reveal, the star along with his wife and 2 young sons all removed the covering to reveal his star, which is now numbered at 2,719. So he also went on to express his humble beginnings growing up with Palestinian immigrant parents, then going on to be a record store employee, radio DJ, and finally this big superstar that we know. So big up DJ Khaled all the way.
Congratulations. Yeah. That's a good look. I saw Jay-Z in the picture, and it looks like his locks is getting rather long.
It's getting even refined too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to point out something. You see how billionaires dress though? I want our artists them just to take a look at that. We just want to look how billionaires dress. Just saying.
It's a regular.
Just regular slacks, long sleeve black tee, and dreads.
Yeah, that's it. I used to have that problem many times when I would travel, go overseas, and I'm buying all these fairly expensive suits. And you see Shaggy come on in a t-shirt and jeans.
That don't mean so what Shaggy have on a deer, That's what I say.
Yeah, you know.
Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe the t-shirt alone is more than my suit.
See there.
And then I said to one of the promoters once, "Listen, can't I dress like a Shaggy does?" He says, "Come on, Richie, you're the host of the show. I need for you to look different." Okay.
Wow.
Pay me more, for God's sake.
Hey, quickly, I told you guys I met Richard Branson, right?
Yeah.
At the inaugural flight here. I was playing at the event.
Okay.
Listen, everybody in suits, ties, and everything at Strawberry Hill. This guy was in a t-shirt. Billionaire Branson.
Billy.
Pounds. Branson, may I tell
T-shirt.
you, was in a t-shirt.
Shorts.
Slippers.
That's the aim of life.
Sipping on a
That is
right
the aim.
Let me tell you, I'm like,
Oh, boy. One final story inside of Update. Ina Kamoze is still reaping successes from his big monster hit called Hot Stepper. And this time, he is, in fact, we're noting that his song has been included in the soundtrack for Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
What?
Yep. That's a good look for him, and of course he has been having a good run of form recently. This came out in 1995 actually, and look at it, so many decades later, it's still doing very, very well. The song is certified platinum in the United States for sales exceeding 1 million copies, and it later went platinum in the United Kingdom in 2019, and you know in the UK platinum is like 500,000 or more. He actually has gone past 600,000 with the song Here Comes the Hot Stepper. Congratulations, Ainika Mosey. And you'll see that in the movie.
Yes, sir.
6:36 a.m. That was Update. It's now time for the proverb of the day. Let's hear it.
Child upon mother back, no know how road long. Child upon mother back, no know how road long.
Okay.
That's on.
I was distracted by the little stuffiness.
Yeah. So like
Jody, I know that you found that funny.
Yeah. So like she knows the road long.
It looks. I hope it's not a long road to your recovery, Jody. All right. So the meaning of that one, young man.
Oh yes, that's me. Right. So the meaning for child with upon mother but no know how road long means the young and inexperienced don't understand true troubles or hardships.
All right.
I mean, come on. You know, sir, that's the problem with Funa generation, Richie. Everybody have that story from my generation. Everybody parents love say, when me used to go to school, me have to walk through a river, jump tree, jump fence and all these things.
Right.
Like so because when drop out of school we don't know about hardships. Come on, man.
But we're working hard to make sure that
that's true.
Your generation don't have to go through the same problems
But
that
we
do.
have our own. Well, we are going to tell our kids
of a totally different nature.
Like I say, what you know about COVID?
And not the type that we had back in our day.
Shellz, me have one for you, know.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You ever hear young bud no storm?
Wow. Okay. Taking me to school.
Oh, boy.
But that's a good one. I like that one. It's true.
That's the proverb of the day, and you got the meaning as well.
Yep.
Both the official, the formal meaning, and even some other commentaries surrounding it. It's now time for us to move into the pet peeve. Now, this is going to be something that upsets one of our listeners, and he or she would have taken the time to send it to us via a voice note at our number 876-551-5782. Let's see how upsetting this person finds this particular thing. Let's go.
Good morning, Bridge Nation and the whole Up and Go family. This morning, my pet peeve is a event. Living in the garrison, I do not like when the military or the police force just kick out the gate and run in the yard without no search warrant, no order, no documentation, no badge number. They just run in. They may kick out the door, turn on the house upside down, bed this so, just a this so, whatnot this so, and you name it. It don't right. It's not everybody who live in a garrison is a criminal or wrongdoer. Come and know that if you go uptown, they cannot do that, or certain areas. So why the garrison have to feel that kind of pain? The relevant authority need to look into this. I mean, no, say I'm not the only person who will go through this frustration. I rest my case right there.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's a serious situation that was just explained. We know the police and the security forces have to do their job. We know that there are lots of gunmen in all kinds of different areas. But at the same time, when they barge in on people like that and cause damage, one of the questions that I'd have to follow through on that pet peeve is who does the repairs when doors are hit off
good question.
and so on. You know what I mean? Because based on what the person said,
Just do the damage and cut.
Damage, that's a sad one.
Then that is
It's a reality for many people, especially in the ghettos. He didn't say where he was from, the listener.
I think he said Augustone.
Augustone.
Yeah,
Okay. It's a troubled area from time to time. You have issues with the security forces and persons who are not lawful in their behavior, but at the same time, there is a serious problem when the security forces actually.
It's there's so many like gray areas though, because as you rightfully said, when the security forces have like that intel, how should they act and sometimes the residents not as cooperative, and
As they
there's
ought
so
to
many
be.
gray areas. But what the listener just mentioned is definitely a problem, and I hope that we can find some common ground going forward.
Yeah, definitely. Now, following increasing national concern about inappropriate and exploitative content of children on digital platforms, Betty Ann Blaine, child advocate and founder of Hear the Children's Cry, has acted on a promise to tackle this issue. Blaine's organization is partnering with leading entertainment platform TiK Tok to build what they hope to be a positive and supportive digital community in Jamaica. We understand that the partnership is believed to be the first of its kind in Jamaica and even in the Caribbean. So
nice.
that's a biggie for us, and we're very pleased to be joined at this time by Lady Betty Ann Blaine. Good morning, Betty Ann. How are you?
Good morning, Richie B. I'm fine, and I hope you're well. And good morning to all of your listeners.
Thank you. We're doing well here. We're also joined by Shellz, who is in the studio with us, one of our co-hosts. All right.
All right, wonderful.
Wonderful to have you. And this sounds like a very big, huge development as far as the partnership with TiK Tok is concerned. You know that we're interested, Betty, to find out what this partnership entails. What can you tell us about it?
Well, it's a very big win for the children of Jamaica. It really is. Let me tell you how this all started. Late January of this year, there was a video. The leak video, you may have seen or heard of it, involving two very, very young children. I suspect maybe 8 or 9 years old. And it was a TikTok video that was being circulated here in Jamaica, and it went viral. The video was sent to me because of the work I do. And I was heartbroken. I was so angry, so upset, so heartbroken when I saw these two young children on this video. And I said to myself, something has to be done. TiK Tok surely must be able to pull these videos down before they go viral. That kind of video, it really was child pornography. And so that's what led me. I began talking about it publicly here. And I said to the Jamaican people, I'm going to contact TiK Tok. I'm going to speak with TiK Tok to find out what they can do and what they must do to protect our children. And that started the conversation. I wrote to them, and they responded. We began talking. And I discovered so much about TiK Tok that I didn't even know. It turned out that out of those meetings and conversations on Zoom, we agreed on this partnership. It's very, very crucial because, and it's a big deal. It really is, because what this means now, Richie B, is that we have, meaning here the Children's Cry, we have immediate access to TiK Tok, to their trust and safety team. We can call them. We have their personal numbers. We have a particular email channel. We have become a part of what they call the community partner channel that allows us immediate access to TiK Tok for them to move immediately if there's any kind of video like this that exploits children in any way, any kind of child porn. This is huge because, usually you can't get through to anybody. This is a huge company and a big platform. So this is great because we now have this access, this partnership with TiK Tok, and we can protect our children from this kind of abuse.
Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
Out of this, I'm sorry, Richie B.
Go ahead. I'm hearing you. Yes.
Yeah. Out of this agreement, last week, our team at Hear the Children's Cry got training. We did the TiK Tok did a kind of orientation with us to tell us more about TiK Tok, how it works. I was particularly interested in the safety controls they have for parents. And this is something I'm going to be talking about moving forward to provide Jamaican parents with information on how they can protect their children.
Yes.
And how they can monitor their children on this particular platform.
I see where TiK Tok's Latin America and Caribbean policy manager Tom Lehman actually said, and I quote, TiK Tok's mission is to inspire creativity and bring joy, and as part of that, we are committed to making TiK Tok a safe and inclusive space for everyone, especially our young people. So you're of like minds in that regard.
Absolutely. And let me tell you what's also very, very good about this partnership. What this has allowed now is for us to work with our cybercrimes unit here at home to link them in with the TiK Tok folks, because I need to say this. They know who these users are. In other words, the adult that made that video of these two Jamaican children, this TiK Tok video, they know who they know. They have all the information. That's not going to be given to us. We don't need it at Hear the Children's Cry. But our law enforcement here in Jamaica can get that. And so because one of the challenges that we've been having here at home is how do you find these people, these adults that are abusing children in this way? It's very difficult to trace them and track them when you get these videos. And so our partnership has now opened the door for that. And, you know, we work, here the Children's Cry works very closely with the police, you know, on the issue of missing children, which is we're the only NGO in Jamaica that works on this problem of missing and abducted children. For us to do our work effectively, we work with the police. In other words, the police gives us the information every single day and every month of every child who is reported missing in Jamaica. We then at Hear the Children's Cry contact every single parent or family member or guardian of every child, and we begin to build those relationships, provide counseling, work with the schools, but we do this with the help of the police. So we work closely with them, and we intend to work similarly on this issue of child pornography.
No, Betty, and hi, morning again. Shellz here.
Hey, hi.
Give thanks. First, I just want to highlight, thank you so much for, you know, this initiative. When I saw that video, as I was saying at the streets, it mashed up meds. You know what I mean? So I'm really grateful for this, and big up TiK Tok.
Very distressing. It's abuse and it's a crime, as you know.
Exactly. And you just mentioned, you know, working along with the police, you know, in helping, you know, with the search for missing children.
Right.
Sadly, we learned that, you know, over 1,500 children were named missing and have not been found. So I'm just curious, you know, with the help of the police, how difficult it is, or how challenging is it, you know, when it comes to finding these children?
Well, let me tell you, this problem of the missing children is a huge, huge, huge problem. Every month, we have over 100 reports of children going missing. Most of them run away from home, you know. They're not, thank God it's not abductions. We've had abductions, as you know, but those are few, thank God, few and far between. Most of the children who go missing are, in fact, runaways. And thank God, most of them do come back home. Now, they come back home with all kinds of problems, you know, or a variety of problems, but most of them return home. The problem, and this is a question you're asking me, what about those who are unaccounted for? We can't find them. We don't know where they are. This has been going on for years, you know. A few years ago, a grandmother called me from Savlamar. It was the beginning of a new year, and she was crying. And she said to me, Miss Blaine, I need your help. I said, how can I help you? She said, my granddaughter, who lived with me, 14 years old, put on our school uniform the morning, left for school, was never seen again. When the grandmother called me, it had been 3 years since her grandchild had gone missing, never to be found again. The grandmother was weeping. She said to me, Miss Blaine, I can't sleep, I can't eat. She said, after it happened, I put on my clothes, and she heard somehow that the child may have been seen in Mandeville. She put on her clothes, go to Mandeville. She said she walked the streets of Mandeville for one straight week with the child's picture up and down, showing people, taxi drivers, to everybody, have you seen her granddaughter? That child was never found. It's really quite a serious thing because we don't know where they are exactly. Are they victims? Have they been victims of child trafficking? Possibly. Are they dead? We don't know. So long as if the police record them as unaccounted for, if they don't know if they've come back. Now it's a very tricky thing though, because some of them come back, but the police don't know that. In other words, nobody knows that really, because they don't go back to the police station and say, my child has returned. So some of them have in fact come back. There's some of them who we know went missing when they were like, say, 14 or 15. They don't resurface till they're 18, or 18 plus. When they're adults, we're no longer children. And so we know that happens as well. So there are all kinds of problems, but associated particularly with those unaccounted for children. Here is what we've been doing. Here is what we do. We make calls to every single parent or family of a child who goes missing. We get those phone numbers and we call them. The first thing we ask is, has your child returned home? If they tell us no, we try to track them regularly, like every week. But it's really, really hard. We're only able to make these phone calls because Digicel supports us with the funding, the money, the credit to make these hundreds, thousands of calls we make for every year tracking these children. But here is what I want to make a call out, a shout out for again, publicly. We've been asking the JCF if they would consider having a special unit within the JCF that would focus specifically on missing children, missing and abducted children. We don't have that right now. What we have is a missing persons call center, missing persons.
Not children.
Children are lumped in with the adults. And that is not, if you're really serious about this problem, you have to separate out the children from the adults. And it's done in most countries where there's a dedicated unit that is looking at these issues with children. The last thing I want to say about these that are long time missing, and we've been trying to track it, asking parents, if your child has been missing for 6 months or longer, contact us at Hear the Children's Cry, because we're members of the Global Missing Children's Network. And there is something called age progression technology, which is how they can take, if we have a picture of the child when the child went missing, and we get pictures of their parents, mother and father, we can send it to them and they can give us a very good idea of what the child would look like now.
Okay.
If the child went missing at, say, 9 years old or 10, and has been missing for several years, if we get those photographs, they can tell us what the child would look like today.
Oh, really?
That's crucial.
Okay.
And that's something we have access to.
Okay. Betty,
So,
we're pretty much out of time, but I want to thank you, and I'm happy that, the announcement of this partnership with TiK Tok, I think it is going to make a huge difference. And for those members of the public who would like to reach you and they hear the children's cry, how can you be contacted?
Well, our landline number is 9290431. And our cell numbers are 294-8123 and 8124.
Okay. All right. I'm sure that you'll be hearing from other members of the public. We thank you for your time and the information you shared this. Congratulations on this new development, and I hope it will work well for all of us. Thank you so much, Betty and Blaine.
Thank you for your co-host, and thanks for highlighting this.
Thank
you, Richie.
No worries.
Most welcome.
Bye-bye. All right, a chat there with Betty and Blaine of Hear the Children's Cry. She's the founder, and she's a very, very active child rights advocate. She has been at it for quite some time, and we're really, really happy that she has taken it on the way she has.
You know, it's time for binge or cringe. Now, this segment is just where I'll be highlighting various series. You know, so nobody don't really watch TV like one time. It's all about watching series online, don't it? And today is no different. If a series is nice, if a show is nice on the online platforms, I say you can binge it. If it makes sense to go do some homework or go read a book, I'll say it's cringeworthy. Now, this one is no different. This is a nice little vibe. So recently, we've seen a surge in billionaires flying their toys off into space in an attempt to push the boundaries of our imaginations and make space travel easier and more accessible. We saw Jeff Bezos with his questionable shaped rocket fly into orbit. We also saw Richard Branson looking to turn Earth's orbit into a more popular tourist destination than Jamaica. However, there's a documentary currently on Netflix that's highlighting another billionaire's efforts to not only make human travel to the International Space Station more accessible, or easy again after many years. For those wondering, the International Space Station is just basically a big laboratory in space where astronauts go and do them work. Yeah, it's crazy. But also, this billionaire is looking to have mankind one day even travel to Mars. This documentary is called Return to Space and highlights the revolutionary work of the world's richest man, Elon Musk, and his brilliant team of engineers at SpaceX. Now, right off the bat, Bridge Nation, here's a disclaimer. If you're not a fan of astronomy and all things space-related, then this one may not be for you. Return to Space offers an in-depth look at SpaceX's successes and failures as they aim to team up with NASA and launch 2 of their astronauts into orbit to visit the International Space Station, or ISS. This is a monumental achievement because Musk's SpaceX went on to achieve many great things, such as being the first privately funded liquid propellant rocket to reach orbit around the Earth. It's also the first private company to successfully launch, orbit, and recover a spacecraft. It's also the first private company to send a spacecraft to the International Space Station. Also, you see how much thing we learned from the liquor show? It's also the first vertical takeoff and vertical propulsive landing for an orbital rocket. And it also was the first to reuse its fuel in space. So you know how people always, you ever watch them movie there? We always wonder how them can fly, go up them rocket and then turn on back them engine again and fly around space. Actually, that's not possible. But Elon and his team made reusing their rocket fuel possible, and that's amazing. So SpaceX has actually flown their Falcon 9 series of rockets over 100 times. So this documentary is just highlighting the first ever time they did it. So it's actually a very, very, very powerful documentary. In my opinion, the documentary is incredibly informative. However, I must admit I lost track during the whole bunch of scientific references. You know it go. However, it was truly a pleasure watching Elon Musk, a man who I believe truly seems to have it all, show his vulnerability as he aims to make his dreams come true. I believe Return to Space is not only quite inspirational, but it's definitely binge-worthy. Nice little 2 hours, but, just sit back, relax, and go learn something. I recommend this for audiences, 16 years and older. Really inspirational stuff. So that's Return to Space. Big up my friend Muskie and his team at SpaceX.
When last you saw him?
He's actually the one who recommended the documentary.
Right,
yeah, man. So last night, never saw him.
Cool.
Well, technically FaceTime, you know it go.
Yeah, we don't know. Using technology.
Yeah, you know it go.
Yeah, we actually like space movies too. Like there was a Stowaway, there was Voyagers, and so on.
Exactly.
So,
and he has
Richie, you know those. Yeah.
Well, mine started from Star Trek. Let me sound kind of, I don't know if it's the same time. Star Trek, Star Wars, and beyond. But
okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a good look, man.
Yeah, man.
He's actually making, and he wants to go to Mars eventually. So this was just his first step in making that possible.
What is the final verdict?
It's binge worthy.
All right.
Definitely can binge it, peeps.
All right. There you go. That was.
What is his name again? This was Binge or Cringe.
Good morning.
Good morning. Toronto, Bridget over.
Right, she's ready.
There she
ready.
is. Hey,
She there.
Red.
She there.
Hey.
What's
good
up?
Morning. Good morning.
Well,
Don't
go
mind
on.
the raspiness. Don't adjust your radio.
Oh, really?
Some of us are still recovering.
I knew it.
You knew it.
We made that assumption on air a while ago, right?
Wow. Really, guys?
Yeah, man.
And one person even went on to indicate that there are some pictures that show some of the details, a little bit of the details as to what went down.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it was a good time. If you were here in Toronto and you came out to Sugar Daddy's nightclub, DJ Ritz mashed it up. Honestly,
Nice.
Richie and Shellz, Ritz, he played a birthday track after every set, in between, I should say. So the vibe, even if it wasn't your birthday, your hands were in the air like it was your birthday. It was really a good time. The cake was amazing by Stargirl. By Cake Star. Also, Balloon District, Christina, she did an amazing job as well. So it was a good time. It was a good celebration. And, spring, it's like new beginnings. So It was nice.
Okay, I have to ask though, what happened to
Right.
those bottles of champagne that I saw on the table in front of you?
What happened?
What happened
What
to
do you
them?
mean? What do you mean? Listen.
Were there that's
Richie.
for picture taking?
Nah. Listen, what happens at Sugar Daddy's stays at Sugar Daddy's.
Ah,
See that?
Yes. Yes.
all right. So there might be a few unanswered questions
Yeah.
if we even dared to ask.
I know you wanted all the details. Richie messaged me the next day. He was like, "So
How was it?
Oh, how did it
And I was
go?
like, "Nothing to report over here."
I noticed that you're flying solo, Red.
Yes. So Jay's actually in the skies right about now, headed over. Can I even say where he's headed?
He's somewhere,
Maybe, yeah.
going someplace out of
Going
out of
somewhere
port.
warm.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way: it's sunny, it's beautiful. It starts with J. I don't know if you can figure it out.
Oh, we're thinking
But,
about it.
Yeah.
We're thinking it through.
Check him out on IG,
Japan.
and he may post it. You know.
All right.
right.
Big up Jay,
yourself, Jay.
in the air right now. All right, it's good to be with you nonetheless, and we say good morning to our friends in Toronto, in the Greater Toronto area. Nice to be a part of this Canadian connection with Bridge 99 FM and, of course, Flow 98.7.
So, Richie, it's 8 degrees here in Toronto, so we're getting up there today. It's going to be a high of 16 degrees, not like Jamaica. We're not there yet.
Okay.
But I wanted to tell you and Shellz, Richie, that it was so incredible to have so many listeners come up to me at Sugar Daddy's.
Yeah.
And I will say this. I got a lot of happy birthdays, but I got a lot of I love the connection with Bridge 99.
Oh, great.
Wow.
Happy to hear
Yes.
that.
Yes.
A lot. And then, some of them were talking, and then, after 12 o'clock, I'm not sure what they said, but I did hear love Richie B, Shellz, Bridge 99.
Oh, that's cool. We're happy to hear that.
Yeah.
And to tell you the truth, we do get a lot of messages here as well.
yes.
So it's a good look, and we're loving it. Trust me.
Yes, sir.
We're getting ready for Easter.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are into that too much. Do you do the bun and cheese thing and all that kind of stuff?
I do.
think-
I need a gluten-free bun.
Oh, yeah?
You're like, I know you guys are like, what in the name of?
I don't know
What
about
in
that.
the name
When it's
of?
We
Oh, that go.
Bob Marley are you talking about?
Oh, that work.
Yeah, so I don't know. He said, how'd that work? A gluten-free bun, so it's not too much wheat, but I love it. Some bun and cheese. Actually, you reminded me, I need to order some fried fish
Oh, yeah?
for Friday, because I did it last year. I fried
Uh-huh.
snapper, and my entire house smelled like fried snapper for 2 weeks.
That's
And
it.
you know that hint of fish when it I shut all the doors, did the candles, all that, but you know when it gets into your clothes, just a little bit.
That's easy.
It's got
or
that
a lot.
but yeah, it's got that frowsy, so I gotta figure it out.
Yeah. Do you find the price of fish going up at Easter time?
I don't know.
That's what happens here. First of
Oh,
all,
yes.
it's very
Probably.
scarce. You can hardly get it.
Really?
And when you do, I got some the other day. My vendor was quite nice to me. She gave me at $1,000 a pound. But when my friend asked me to get some from her, she says, Richie, that was your price. His price is going to be $1,200. And I've heard, in fact,
Right.
the week before, I bought some fish at one of the other established locations, and I paid $1,350 Jamaican per pound.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, we're talking about snapper. Do you don't find prices for fish going up at this time?
I guess everything's gone up, so it's pretty relative.
It's across the board.
But I know it's true. Like I know even in Barbados, flying fish has gone up, and I don't know. Apparently they jumped over to Trinidad, so I don't know.
Flying fish is an important meal in Barbados, isn't it?
Yes, we love our flying fish, and it's so tasty. It's like a fillet. They fillet it, and it's really thin, but it's just super tasty. I'm gonna bring you some flying fish, okay, Reds?
Let's do it.
And Greg is Bajan, so Greg's like, I like that fish, bad boy.
I may do some of that soup you made the other day, though. You should have
Oh
brought some of that.
yes, I made a soup on Sunday, Richie.
Hey, Ritz, if I said to you, Wagwan, Ritz, would you understand?
Yeah, and then some. You know what I mean? We're from Toronto, man. We definitely we're
from
up
Little
on
Jamaica.
exactly.
Yeah,
we up
that's
on
true.
everything.
All right.
true.
I think we've got news coming up. We have a guest on the other side. Razor B is going to be passing. In fact, going to be with us for a little bit. So stick
Oh,
up.
really?
Stick around. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Razor B is going to be with us.
Yeah, we go way back, even before he was doing music. How crazy is that?
All right.
So it'll be good, nice to link up.
Right now, we do have a guest on the telephone, as we promised you. The one and only Razor B has now joined us. Good morning, Razor B.
Blessings, artist.
Good morning, good morning. Not you, Richie. Not you, Richie.
Wait a minute, Razor
Thank you,
B's on the
sir.
phone.
That's just how I always introduce myself. Who don't remember the name? Well, make you want milk baby back.
Man, make sure it's not
How
you,
are
Richie.
you? How are you?
Red is somebody who is quite familiar to you, Razor B.
I know, yeah. I've been knowing Red for quite some time.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I still have memories of one of my birthdays at Club Paradise, and you were there. Remember when we had tables and you came out and partied? We're not going to call out the government names, but we know each other before actually I did radio. So we go way back. But why are you calling in? Are you in Toronto? You should be right here.
I think I'm the one who introduced Red to radio. To be honest with you, you don't remember.
Whatever. Stop it. Stop it. So wait a minute, Razor. Where are you? Are you in Toronto, Jamaica, or undisclosed?
I'm all over the place. Over the place. Where am I today? I'm always traveling. So actually, I'm in Toronto. Not Toronto, but in Canada.
Oh, okay. Do you travel around with like the money bag that you sing about, or that's just?
I never leave the money bag, man. I never leave the money bag. It's sitting right beside me right now.
Which is right.
But it's a case where you don't necessarily have money in it, I suspect, because you could become a target.
Richie.
Yeah.
Richie, come on. You know me. I come to your place all the time.
I know.
I've ever come there and all this stuff and never pay. I always go to the bag.
I want to see this money bag.
I don't do consignment, Richie. You know that.
Yeah, I also remember you performing at one of my birthday bashes right at that location at Mirabrown's Corner. Thank you again, sir.
Yeah, man.
I was telling Shellz
we'll go way back too.
I was telling Shellz off the air that you performed like you had 50,000 people in front of you, and that you and like you were being paid 50,000 Canadian dollars.
Wow.
Hey, listen. That's how I perform, and I mean. After I finished performing, you called me over and said, "Boy, Razor B, trust me, the energy and the vibe that you bring."
Yeah, man.
And I never forget that day, man. It was a blessing always because I've been listening to you for years.
Yeah, I want our listeners both.
To perform.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I want all of our listeners, both in Toronto and Jamaica and the world over, to hear this new song from Razor B called "Money Bag."
Money Bag.
Too much in me pocket, me have to put it on more money bag.
If mine is made out of leatherette and not leather, does it still qualify as a real money bag?
Hey, it doesn't matter what kind of bag it is. As long as it's a bag, it's a money bag.
All right.
What inspired this song, though, Razor?
You know what? Honestly, we've been locked down for many years, and people have lost their business. And condolence to those who have lost their lives. But to be quite honest with you, the motivation coming out of the pandemic was been money in my mind. Mm-hmm. And not only that, I've been giving back. My first stop was in Jamaica with the money bag. Mm-hmm. My second stop was in Miami with the money bags. My third stop was in Trinidad with the money bags. And now I'm here in Canada with the money bag. You know what I mean? And just doing the movement. So it's a money bag movement.
Yeah.
It's just always giving back and helping those who are less fortunate, who has been affected by the whole pandemic. And and it's a motivation for those to get that money bag and put more in it and help those who them can help also.
So when you get to England and Germany and all over Europe, there'll be still money in the money bag, I suspect.
I hope so. You know what I mean? I'm hoping. You know what I mean? God is in control, and I've been blessed. So I'm just hoping that it continues, and I do believe that there will be money in the money bag when I hit my Europe tour.
Yeah, you bring a certain
American tour, which I'm going on this year.
Oh, really? Great.
Nice.
You bring a certain energy to dancehall, and you've maintained that all through the years. And I'm not surprised that we're getting this kind of feel from you right now. Real energy, Razor B. I think it's going to do well for you. Have you shot a video for this song as yet?
Absolutely. I was in Jamaica the other day, and that's when I shot the video. The song is out. The video is doing very well. Almost 100K.
Wow.
So this song is pretty young. It's a month old, and to be honest with you, I'm excited to see where it's going. And everywhere I go, people they don't even call me Razor B anymore. They call me Money Bag.
Money Bag.
Take a catch on, man. Yeah, man, I hate that.
How can people follow you on social media?
Yeah, I mean, I'm at the real Razor B on Instagram, and I just started my Twitter, not Twitter, Instagram, what do you call it, TikTok?
Mm-hmm.
So fresh to TikTok, it's a Razor B money bag.
All right.
Money bag on
Nice.
TikTok.
Thank you,
Yeah, so
Razor.
excited.
Great
Yeah,
great
thank
having
you.
you, bro, and good luck with this project, and we definitely will stay in touch, all right?
All right, no problem, man. Bless up everybody. Bless up Toronto. Bless up Jamaica. Bless up the whole world. Big up, bless
You
up.
know, big
Yeah.
up, my general.
International.
We
Love it.
aspire to own a money bag one day
Yeah,
with
man.
some real money in it.
Yeah, man.
Even some Canadian would suit me right now.
Yes.
I tell you. And the president of the Jamaica Football Federation is joining us at this time to talk about what's happening with the Reggae Girlz. Good morning, Mr. Mike Ricketts. How are you, Mike?
Blessing, sir.
I am doing well, sir. It's refreshing to hear your voice. How are you doing?
Not too bad at all, Mr. Ricketts. Great having you as well. How have you been?
Well, I wouldn't complain. I do have much to be thankful for.
Yes. And especially with what is going on now with the Reggae Girlz, Mark, let me tell you, it is phenomenal and it's a great look.
Yeah.
What are you expecting going forward, and how is it looking from your perspective?
Well, as it is now, we only need to draw this evening. Then we would advance to the final stage of the World Cup qualifiers. So far, the girls have looked in real good shape. They have been doing very well. We have already played 3 games. We defeated Bermuda and Grenada, and of course, recently the Cayman Islands. We are actually leading the group on goal difference, but of course, this evening's encounter will determine where we go from here. And we're pretty optimistic. I think the girls are in good shape, both physically and mentally. And we just hope that we'll be very successful this evening and then advance to the final stage, which will be at Mexico in July.
Okay. The girls have had almost like a hunger for goals, and they've been having some really, really good scores in the matches. I know that you've appointed Blaine fairly recently, and I get the feeling that he's onto something, doing a really good job with the team so far.
Well, Richie, so far, yes, I have to concede that Vin has been doing a pretty decent job, and it reflects in the result. Because our first game we defeated Bermuda, who's been extremely competitive so far in the tournament. We defeated them by 4-0. Then we engaged Grenada. We defeated them by 6-1. And then, of course, 9-0 against Cayman Islands, which would translate to maximum points. And like I said, we are just hopeful that this evening's encounter will put the icing on the cake.
Wow. Which is right. Morning, Mr. Ricketts, Shellz here. So I'm a big fan of football. You know, I love especially to see our national teams, whether it be the men and women, you know, doing their thing. A common misconception before the last World Cup for women was that the women's game never really had much excitement to it. But man, I tell you, when I see the girls, our girls especially do their thing, man, that's something nice. But I tell you,
we have some homegrown players.
Yeah.
And of course, we have those whom we've been brought in from overseas. And the blend has been phenomenal, to say the least. And like I said, it translates onto the field of play, where they've been very convincing in their game so far.
Which is right.
So we just want to ensure that they stay focused, stay healthy, and continue to make Jamaica proud.
Exactly. But sir, do you think that they're getting the support that's needed, and especially from the fans, and can we expect a strong support later this evening?
Well, we are hopeful because we, as it is, and like you just said, we probably do not get, we meaning the girls, do not get the kind of recognition or the kind of support like the boys do get. But success certainly will change all of that. And I'm pretty certain that once we get to the World Cup, and this will be 2 consecutive World Cup qualifying for 2 consecutive World Cup tournament, then that certainly will be a major achievement both for the girls and certainly for the team. If I may just give you an idea of the qualification process.
Yes, please do.
After we, and hopefully we pass the evening, then the 6 group winners will meet in a tournament in July in Mexico. I think they will divide into 2 groups, and the top 4 teams, 4 semifinals, will go to the World Cup. So we are just very, very hopeful. And like I said, once we stay focused, once we stay healthy, then we are just hoping for the best and hope that we will be in Australia and New Zealand next year for this global tournament.
Showpiece, yeah. So we are all assuming and hoping that we'll win this evening. What are some of the other teams that we'd encounter going forward beyond today's match?
As it is, I could safely say that teams like Mexico or the U.S., Canada, maybe, just maybe teams like Costa Rica, Panama, those are the teams that we anticipate. We could be not so spot on in all respects, but these are the likely teams that we could encounter going forward.
Okay. This evening's match, I want you to give us some details on it. I know it's going to be at Sabina Park, not at the National Stadium. You want to give us the time and cost for entry and so on, and any other details?
The game is actually at 6 p.m. It's $3,000. We really was getting some resistance. Some people thought that 3,000 was a little high. But when we started getting these complaints, we just thought that we could not have made any adjustment. And then when the girls were so convincing in victory, we thought that, well, maybe it's worth it after all. So it will be $3,000 to get into Sabina Park. And the game is at 6 p.m. And like I said, we engage the Dominican Republic.
We're encouraging members of the public to go on out and support the Reggae Girlz this evening. Any concerns in terms of the pitch itself that they'll be playing on, not at the stadium, but at Sabina Park?
Well, a cricket surface ought to be just as good as a footballing surface. I understand that there were some concerns, but when I spoke with Vice President Anderson, who has overall responsibility for preparation, he assured me that corrective measures would be in place and that all would be well for 6 p.m. this evening.
Okay. Before you go, Mike, anything you can share with us in terms of what's happening with the Reggae Boys themselves? We didn't make it to the World Cup, but what can you tell us in terms of where they're at now, so to speak?
We didn't make it to the World Cup. We have immediately started planning for the next World Cup, which will be held in this region. So the Nations League starts in June, of course, next year with the World Cup. So we're going to ensure that we do these games as part of the preparation process for 2026. And like I've said, the work will be in our region. We're working closely with all the stakeholders, and we want to establish a real proper grassroots and development program so that 2026 comes around, at least some of our local players would be on show and hopefully excite our coaching staff.
Okay. So let us say in closing, Mike, that the coaching staff and the team, the Reggae Girlz, are listening to us right now. They're listening to you as the president of the JFF for some encouragement. What do you want to say to them in closing this morning?
Well, firstly, I want to say huge congratulations to the technical staff and, of course, to the players. And I just want to encourage them and implore them to stay focused. The sky is the limit, and I do believe that we have the potential in terms of players and in terms of staff to take us to the work in Australia and next year.
All right. So says the president. We are with you on that. Are there ticket outlets that, or will tickets be sold at the gate this evening at Sabina Park?
Tickets will be sold at the offices of the Jamaica Football Federation and at the office at Sabina Park.
All right. Good luck to the team, and thank you for talking to us, Mike Ricketts. Have a great day.
Sir.
All right. All right, that's a chat there with the president of the JFF. And, well, if the boys didn't do it, hopefully the girls will do it. And we wish them well.
Yeah.
They're very exciting to watch.
Yeah.
You know, I have my own favorites on the team. And, I just want to say to the girls out there, listen, you can do it. And from where we sit, you will do it.
There it is.
Yeah, we're with you all the way. Big ups every time to the Reggae Girlz. It's 18 now past 9 o'clock. We're talking off the air about the visit to Mr. Putin by Western leader and Austria's Chancellor Karl Nehammer decided to brave up, show a brave face, and go meet with President Putin.
Circlemans.
Yeah. I don't think he achieved much.
No.
Putin didn't give up much at all. The Austrian Chancellor says this is not a friendly visit. I have just come from Ukraine and have seen with my own eyes the immeasurable suffering caused by the Russian war of aggression. He said in a statement that was issued after the meeting that took place outside of Moscow. And basically he's saying not much was achieved, really.
Yeah. To me, it just seems like, I'm just good because based on what he saw, it was just overwhelmed. I'm just like, you know what? I have to just make Putin know, because maybe he don't know.
Yeah.
And him just say, circle him and tell him straight up.
Yeah, man. They met for 75 minutes. The Austrian leader said, I addressed the serious war crimes in Bucha and other places and emphasized that all those responsible for them must be held accountable. I wonder if he's just saying this after he left Russia.
Right.
UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson visited with
Putin as well?
With Putin fairly recently, right?
Oh. With Ukraine,
with Ukraine, yeah.
Okay.
Not Putin.
Oh,
yeah.
come here, I wonder.
Yes, he met with Zelensky and had some words.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to Kyiv.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember we saw the photograph. But I'm wondering whether or not the Austrian leader is just talking tough
after the fact.
After the fact.
Yeah, because it could be a case like that because him can always, after him left Putin ends.
Yeah.
When at the media and say, well, I said this to him, and all these things. Maybe it was just a.
It just seems like he's talking a little bit too tough. I mean, he went on to say, I told President Putin in no uncertain terms that sanctions against Russia will remain in place and will continue to be tightened as long as people are dying in Ukraine. You really think he would have said that to Putin to his face? In Russia?
Oh,
mud.
You know what me feel say? What me feel say?
I just have a little doubt.
Actually, if he did mention that or said that to Putin does say, usher the belly out.
Usher him
out. Yeah, usher the belly out.
But don't harm him, but let him leave.
Yeah, but on a serious note though, I don't know if you guys watch the news portals like I do. I have to stop because you see this thing, Richie, it needs to stop.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't, let me tell you, it is heading for something more serious. Let me tell you. Trust me, it is.
Well, remember the first thing we spoke about this morning,
the chemical,
is the fact that it is being investigated now whether or not chemical weapons were actually used. And if it goes in that direction, then I suspect that NATO is going to want to be taking some serious action in retaliation to that. And that would, I suspect, could very well mean the start of a world war.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. The serious thing.
So I think 3 persons were taken to hospital, and they're being it's being investigated whether or not they actually suffered from any chemical.
Yeah, man.
It is a lot of that's going on, and we still have a lot to be thankful for here in this country. Trust me.
Yeah.